So here we go. I used to get a lot of complaints, or the odd person saying, well, where are you getting all this from? And I'd say, I get a lot of my stuff from Twitter. Well, you're getting all your news from Twitter. And obviously I'm not on Twitter any longer. But when you say you're getting your news from Twitter, which actually wouldn't apply now I get a lot of my stuff, pick up a lot of stuff from Blue Sky. You're picking it up from other people who are reading stuff, who are hearing stuff, who are on the ground, taking on board stuff and sharing it with other people. That's where it's coming from. And there's still the odd person in my comments who'll accuse me of watching MSN. I hate that. Mainstream media. And I don't. Mark has it on, but I don't watch it. All of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about now is from Blue Sky, but people on Blue Sky who I hold in high esteem, who I believe know what they're talking about. So I'm probably going to get it wrong, but I will be referring to President Musk most of the way, because that's what we're up against. It's President Musk that's holding the reins. He's been given free rein by the little toy emperor and is just running amok in your government, running amok. And it's just horrific. And so much has happened that it's difficult to stay on top of it. And so the person I watch mostly is Elizabeth Cronis McLaughlin, otherwise known as ECM. It took me a while to tune into her voice because she's quite strident, but she knows so much stuff. She's so knowledgeable, and she each morning over there, for me it's sort of mid-afternoon, each morning has a resistance live vlog about what's been going on in the last 24 hours. And it, the rundown of what's gone on in the last 24 hours is getting bigger and bigger. So if you do want to know more about what's going on, she's the person to watch. And there was something else that was pushed up onto Blue Sky. It may have been by her yesterday, called Notes on the Crisis, which I will put a link to. I'll put a link to all of the things that I've mentioned in beneath this vlog. I'll put links in, because I think you need to see what I'm reading and what I'm hearing. So that one and that one. So these are not going to be in particular order, because you can't, there isn't an order, isn't there? It's like, oh my God, it's coming at you from all sides. And one thing that she did say today is, or yesterday was, this is for the people that are in America and want to do something and need to be able to do something and feel a duty to do something. I can't do something apart from what I'm doing, which is feeding information onto YouTube, which at some time, you never know, might be important. But what she says is that it is so overwhelming and you will be feeling overwhelmed. So take 2 or 3 things from what's happening, something you feel very passionate about, and deal with that. And she is constantly telling you to call your senators, even if you're in I have to get this the right way around, because in the UK, a blue state would be equivalent to Republican, but blue for you is Democrat, isn't it? I got confused. No, yeah. So even if you're in a red state, anyway, even if your senator is a Republican, still call them. And she's saying you must call them. And apparently what happens is if you call them, even if you can't get through and you get a machine, all calls get logged and they must be listened to. And that looks like it's beginning to have an impact with the amount of calls that are going in. And she did say in today's vlog, and I didn't pick it up, how many it's increased by over the last few days of people calling in. So that's something that you can do, like even if, you know, like me, who can't go out on a demonstration or can't do anything like that, if I were in America and I was American, I could at least make a phone call. I could make several phone calls a day. That would be something I could do. So she asks you to do that. So there was a filibuster that started, today is Thursday, I think it started yesterday evening and went on for 30 hours. And this was to block the nomination of Russ Voigt, who is Project 2025 guy. So the idea of the filibuster was to block him 30 hours, and I think they achieved that. I think they also delayed Kash Patel's. Nomination. But that means that those of you that are able to, and those of you that can and know who to call, you need to be calling your senators now and telling them not to nominate these people. So that happened. That was really good. That was really sort of reassuring to see finally some pushback and some obstruction, because that's really important, that you need to, whilst taking care of yourself, obstruct what you can and resist and push back when you can. So it was good to see that they were about to do that. There were lots of protests yesterday in various states. I haven't counted, but there were a lot of them. And so yeah, there's a lot of pushback going on. Apparently the database with the January 6th evidence on it has been removed from the DOJ website. I think that's correct. It's a lot of websites that have been disappeared, removed, or that you've lost access to. And you're living in a coup. This is what's happening. You're living in a coup. And I think that over the years, I mean, I haven't really taken it in over the years, but you see the military coup going on over there. There's a coup going on over there. You don't understand what it is. Well, this is what it is, and you're living it. You know that you've got young techie guys, you know, no older than 25, as young as 19, interfering with and having access to your all of your social security numbers, all of your personal information that the US Treasury had, be it forcing people to leave their seats, forcing people to let them get access, threatening them. You know, Elon Musk threatening them. I'll bring who did he say he was going to bring? I can't remember, but, you know, threatening, I'll bring so-and-so over to, you know, to make you do this. And that's really frightening for the people that are in that situation. You know, they're paid to be there, to protect, to do their job, and they're just being forced to one side. The other thing that I thought was deplorable was the former Coast Guard leader, female Coast Guard leader, who was the word sacked? I think she was sacked. I don't know whether there was a different word for it. I mean, sacked, isn't it? A different word for it. A couple of weeks back, with some excuse or other, but you know, it's because she's a woman, was evicted yesterday from her home with 3 hours notice. That's deplorable. And it's so Trumpian, absolutely Trumpian. Google, this is really distressing, because I'm trying to work out how I can avoid Google. I use Google for YouTube. I use Google for AdSense that pays. I said this the other day, didn't I? I don't know how to get around this, but they have apparently, since just after the inauguration, a lot of ICE footage on Google got redate stamped, and I think it's now stamped the 26th of January. A lot of that footage from ICE is not what you're, if you search, what's coming up is dated 26th of January, but actually some of what you see took place in 2010 and 2018, and it's just been redated. It's just too much, isn't it? It's too much, and this is what's happening, and there's so much happening. It's very distracting, and that's the plan, to distract you, to confuse you, and to shock you, and they're doing that. But I think people are beginning to get a hold of it and pushing back. What else was there? Gaza. Gaza. He really doesn't understand, does he? Doesn't understand his language. That what he talked about yesterday, I mean, even the administration's pulled back from it, but what he talked about yesterday was genocide. Now, he talks about, that he doesn't go to war, but what he was talking about was genocide. We'll clear them all out, we'll clean it, and we'll take them all out, and then we'll let them come back, like fuck you will. We'll let them come back, and but there's been a lot of winding back from that today. And Netanyahu was like, really? And somebody said, I wish you could have seen the face of, there was a woman in the administration watching, and they said, I wish you could have seen her face, because she was like, oh, what the fuck? So yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He really doesn't. And he also talked about, I think this was this morning, about a new air traffic control system that they're going to devise. Let's reinvent the wheel. Because I'm going to, I think this was what he was doing with Obamacare, because it had got Obama written on it, because it was called Obamacare. He had to rewrite it. And this is what he's doing now. It's got to be rewritten, because it needs to be attached to Trump. And meanwhile, there was a very bad air accident, mid-air collision, a few days back, wasn't there? The helicopter and the aeroplane. And then yesterday evening, two airliners hit each other on the ground, collided with each other on the ground. A Japan airline and one other, I can't remember the other one. So it's, it's frightening, and I'm frightened for anybody flying at the moment. My Vicky will be flying in 3 weeks' time to America, and it's really frightening to think that you're not going to be in safe hands. Absolutely awful. Have I done everything that I said I was going to say? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you the link to Crisis Notes, and I'm going to give you the link to Elizabeth, her YouTube, and any other links that I think will be of interest. So you can read what I'm reading and make more sense of it, especially if you're American. You understand it more than I do. The other thing I've got written on here, there was two things. There's the memo. There was a memo from Pan Bondi. And I don't know who she sent it. I think it was the DOJ. I'm not sure. But she said, you work for Trump now. And I think Obama said many years ago that we work for the people. And she's saying, you work for Trump now. So she's threatening, isn't she? Why are they always blonde, the women he's got around him? God. It really is like the Aryan race stuff, blonde, fair. That's what it's all about. That's what they want. Finally, in Russia, a writer fell to his death from a window after making a donation to Ukraine. There was a ballet dancer 2 or 3 weeks back who fell from a balcony. I don't know what he'd done, but people. I saw this. Saw this on BlueTube and Blue Sky, and people are saying, watch out here. So you've got President Musk. you're in a coup, and this is what it's like living in a dictatorship. And I hope that you win the fight. I hope that you win the fight back. And I hope that someone orange doesn't fall out a window. Okay, so I don't think I swore too much, and it really is just me, yeah, letting off a bit of steam and telling you I can see what's going on over here, and I hope some of you can. I quite often want to shout, "Have you seen enough yet?" for the MAGA people. I don't, because I don't hear about them. I don't hear a lot about them, but I'm sort of thinking, have you seen enough yet? But I don't know. I don't know whether it's getting through to them. You see, it's like there's these two different news streams. There's us on Blue Sky, which is predominantly Democrat, and then there's the MAGA looking at Fox News. I have been replying to stuff on Fox News just to, break through the, oh, thank God for President Trump stuff. Bless him and all that crap. So I have been commenting on there, trying to wave a flag and say, oh, look over here. But we'll see. Anyway, thanks for your indulgence. If you didn't like it, remember you don't have to watch. Please don't make yourself watch this. It's not a requirement, and nobody held a gun to your head for you to watch this. So if you didn't like it, there's lots of other stuff on YouTube you can watch that's happier than this. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Bye.